She got diarrhea in the mouth.
I always do. Hold on, bro. We didn't even get our fucking thing.
Oh.
Let's get this shit started. Testing 1 2 3. Test 1 2. ¿Qué onda, güey? We are the Bodega Cats. It's lit. And I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but for some reason I feel like we should be the ones to start it. I am 54 Pchs.
Laureezy in the hizzle.
Hey, Laureezy, Pchs, las gatas, las de la tiendita de la esquina, the cove drunkie, cove periods, adulting in this life, the titanium empaths, person, woman, man, camera, TV, go.
Right.
Let's go.
Word.
54 Pchs.
Word to your mother. Laureezy.
And HOBA tonight, the guest, our special guest tonight of the Bodega Cats, the special guest and friend of the cats. Not only the Bodega, but the cats. HOBA. H to the her name, B to the, I don't know how to pronounce or say her last name. So it's just HOBA.
Whatever the rest of
Bodega
it is.
Cats. I didn't hit record.
When did you just push it?
Bathroom. And we're here with HOBA, friend of the Bodega Cats, friend of the Bodega, friend of the cats. And I don't know how much we lost. I think we probably lost everything.
Oh, really? Maybe.
Sorry, you guys. We're going to have to do this again. Yeah, I mean, shit. Real quick, we talked about the Athena.
Politics.
Walmart, Trader Jose's, Luigi and Ming.
They really had a Ming?
Yeah, Trader Ming. The ones that were for real was Trader Ming and Trader Jose. Trader Luigi I made up just because they don't make enough fun of Italian, so I had to put them in there. But yeah, the bigot box from Trader Joe's. Laureezy, guess what? We're gonna have to do the intro later because I didn't record, bro. So.
Oh shit.
So I was just doing a little recap of what happened. We talked about J. Cole's new music. HOBA's not really feeling it. It's okay. Drake, though, that shit fire. You guys got to listen to Only You Freestyle. That shit is fire. The other ones, the other two, really, really, really good music. It's kind of like, God damn it, like you said, like now that I'm not, like when we met years ago, I felt like every day it was, I had to defend Drake in somehow. And now I'm not, I think I'm a little bit like my brother. Whenever my brother, my brother introduced me to Tori Amos, and I became a huge Tori Amos fan. And he was disgusted by it. So he stopped listening to her. And I think I have a little bit of that. So after a while, I'm just like, ew, Drake again. But God damn it, man. And then in that song where he has the hook, my girl, I'm like, who comes up with that shit? That's just like, what you doing, my girl? I'm over here sipping on a beer, my girl. Gonna go out for a while, my girl. Like, he just made that shit. I was saying my girl all day yesterday to my nephew while we played. So I was like, what you doing, my girl? Pass me the ball, my girl. Love it. Fucking Drake, man. I don't know how he comes up with that shit, but
I know.
Whew. So it was Pop Star, Only You Freestyle, and Grease. Those are the ones that, so yeah. And then I was telling Laureezy, so Drake, J. Cole, and Logic was the people that I saw came out. I think Logic is trash. I think he can just put words together in a way where this sounds like you're rapping, and I don't know. I didn't think
he tries to sound like J. Cole, I think. Also,
I think he like bites out of everybody, and then like he comes out with that he's retiring. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. You're like what, like fucking 12?
Basically.
Oh, and I forgot to say congratulations to Nicki Minaj. She's pregnant.
I saw that. I also.
Go ahead. I was about to go there.
I was waiting.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't know that she was married either.
You don't know that she was married to a name to a brother named Petty. So now she's Miss Petty. So whenever she cause on Twitter she's now Miss Petty and people think
oh really
Petty.
Oh,
she is, but she's just kind of using her name. It's kind of like
funny.
I use G. I am a G. But anyway. Fuck. I can't believe we lost all that content. I'm really sorry about it. We tend to do that a lot, but I had another thing. So how do you feel about Karens? No, let me ask you this. How would you feel if somebody called you a Karen?
It depends on who said it.
I mean, why would they?
Basically that, but.
Would you be offended?
I mean, if I don't want to say controversial things.
Why?
If there were particular
controversial
people,
podcast. Huh?
If a black person who doesn't know me said it, I'd be like, okay, I understand why you'd assume that.
I couldn't picture a scenario where you would be like that, but now that you said that, you're right.
Yeah, if someone just looked at me.
Person tells me, I would be like, maybe.
Yeah, but if they knew me and they said it, I'd be like, really?
Yeah, the same for me. If someone told me I was a Karen, I'd be like, what? You don't know me, bitch. And you don't know me.
Well, Laureezy was telling me that I guess Karens now feel like, I don't know, but we talked about the last podcast, bro, that you said that it's derogatory or something like that. It's calm down.
Misogynistic.
Misogynistic?
Or more derogatory.
I think.
That's what I can't remember the conversation, but D.L. Hughley, what's his name?
Hughley.
He was talking about it, and people are saying that's misogynistic, and I was like, I don't think so, because they've earned that reputation as being a Karen because they're ridiculous.
And it goes through cycles. It used to be Becky's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what Laureezy said, and I told her no. Becky with the good hair was something else, but you were right, Laureezy. After our podcast, I looked. I don't know. See, I should look up things that have to do with my job, but this is what I'm interested in. So I looked it up, and you were right, Laureezy. Becky was originally known as a minor Karen. It wasn't that big, but
that's true. It wasn't as bad. Maybe it was kind of like a dumb white girl.
I was gonna say it was more like a little bit white privileged white girl, that you don't really know.
Or like aloof, who's like, what?
See, because I thought Becky was the cheater.
That's how Beyonce used it.
Yeah.
Becky with the good hair.
Yeah, that is how she used it. But I feel like that also came from.
It came from black men wanting to cheat. They would cheat on white women.
With white women.
Like a diss.
Mm-hmm.
Women that were good looking. White women, good looking white women.
Well, I know a lot of women would get angry, and I'm with two white women that white women are fun, and unfortunately
I don't even think I'm white. But
you gotta try once in a while.
I don't really associate with white because of all the white privilege stuff, and I don't feel. I mean, I own that I'm a white person, but I've struggled, so
yeah,
I'm definitely in touch with my privilege, but that's not stopping me from being woke.
Especially living in New Mexico, because the culture is so diverse.
Yeah,
that it's not immediately obvious to people who grow up here or live here for a long time that there are others, unless you learn that somehow. But I was never ever taught that, and it's
taught what?
That Hispanic people in New Mexico are different than the white people here or something. It's you don't grow up thinking that, and especially since it's majority minority.
You don't grow up thinking of your whiteness and that you're a white girl, or you don't grow up thinking that you're different from us?
Both.
Okay.
Kind of. It's just it's just not necessarily talked about a lot. It's just kind of everyone is everyone, and we're all New Mexican.
But do you think that white men grow up like that?
Maybe for men it's different.
I think so, because I think for women we might focus on our struggles that we have. Like, I mean, all kinds of fucking shit, including that fucking asshole every month. You know, so like we deal with shit. But well, I wasn't talking about the race part, but I'll get to that later. But you have to have known. I guess it's a combination of it. You have to have known you're a white girl, and that there's like a
definitely
like white girls.
Yeah, and you know, like
I think
all
that was
like
the most famous girl back in the day, the white girl.
But not here, like not growing up here.
I think like in California,
when you're not white, I guess to us it is.
Because I grew up here. I mean, since I was 9, but in Arizona and here, but my family culture is kind of like New Mexico, Texas, kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my parents lived on the border of Del Rio, Texas, and Brackeville, which are little small towns. So it wasn't as like white. I know Texas, you know, they have that reputation, but these are small towns, and so the culture was like a hybrid. Like I grew up with beans and you know, that cultural New Mexico. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because like, especially since my boyfriend is super white and from Iowa, which is like the whitest place in the world. And like when he and all his white friends get together, I'm like, there's so many white people. It like freaks me out.
Well, I get that, but I don't understand.
So like he grew up like white culture in the US is something that I don't honestly even identify with that much, where it's like, oh, I play like football and I'm like a cheerleader. I don't even know what like white culture is in the US stereotypically to describe it, but I noticed differences with the way my boyfriend talks to some people sometimes, whereas I'm like, this is normal, because here there's just less white people.
Well, I can tell you, to me, white culture was Saved by the Bell. Even
which I never watched also.
The Hispanic acted white. So that was white.
Yeah, and I was like raised with like no cable in like rural New Mexico.
Yeah, me too.
So it was like you only get. I didn't even have cable, and I wasn't allowed to drink soda until I was like 14.
Oh shit.
So it was like very much like the bubble around us, which was all like people named Joaquin. Like, which wasn't weird. I just was like, this is a cool name. But when I was little.
Yeah.
Like, how do you spell that?
I grew up in the country, and so we had horses and goats, and so I didn't really identify with white.
I guess I could tell what you guys are saying, but
it's hard. It's really hard to describe, especially to like people not from New Mexico. Not saying at all that you aren't, but like when I try to talk to my boyfriend about it and stuff. Yeah.
I've lived here for a long time though.
Yeah, and you have much more of the authentic like Mexican culture.
100%.
Yeah, because your family is very, very much that. Whereas New Mexico can be like more of a like people who've been here.
You guys first said that took me you guys. It took me by surprise because I don't understand how a white person cannot know or notice that they're white, and by that I just mean, I guess because it's almost like for us, you have to know that shit because especially I've never seen racism until I moved to the US. And that might have to do with my age. I'm not saying that it's, there is racism in Mexico, of course. There's all kinds of shit in Mexico that's worse. But so I didn't see that shit. Then when I came over here, I realized my group of friends in Juarez, right before I moved and came over here, was, and this is really weird, but it was a girl that looked white. So it was like some, literally almost like HOBA with green eyes. And these are all Mexican girls. And then a girl that clearly had black in her, because now I think about it, but back then I didn't, but everybody called her La Negra, so then, it's in her. And then the other one clearly had Asian in her, like that, there was no doubt about it. So, and then me. So that was our group of friends. So it was like the brown, the Asian, the black, and the white. But we're all Mexicans, and we never saw each other. Nobody ever talked about it. Like even the fact that we called homegirl La Negra, that wasn't even like a thing or anything. In my family, I was called La Negra because I was the darkest one. So
my Brazilian friend says also. She's like, yeah, we call them that, and there's no like word for different races.
Yeah, so I didn't really see that. So it's weird for me coming here. It was like I was a young teenager, and holy shit, it was a rude awakening. And I was like, damn, I know I know who I am. They let me know who I was. So I don't mean it's in a rude way. Don't take it like that, you guys. What I'm trying to say is that I don't understand how you guys didn't know from the beginning you had that privilege.
Yeah, I think it's also because were you like an actual teenager when you came? Like, did you go to high school?
I was 13.
Yeah, because I think that's also when kids are like the worst to each other. And didn't you go to like the South Valley schools? Not to like play on stereotypes.
Worse, yeah, but yeah, I went to like later on. My mom's like, I had no idea that was a shitty school. It was just their district.
Yeah, and those I think so. Like I grew up in the rural part of the state, so things were much more people. Oh, thank you, Nikki. No, I have a glass. I asked my sister to bring me a beer, and she did, but she's drinking some of it. No. This is
to make sure it's not
Peaches
poison.
and Laureezy. This is my twin.
I know.
Aww.
But she's. Oh, wait, she can't hear you because here.
Oh. I just said how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How are you?
How are you doing?
You were just tasting, making sure it wasn't poison. I was telling her.
Well, yeah, that's a very important thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that she's booed up, you never know. They've been in the same house for so many days. He might want to get rid of her. Let's make sure that everything, all the beers are okay.
I'm pretty sure it'd be the other way around first.
I think Heather is so pretty that there must be girls out there that are jealous, so they might spike her drinks.
Girls.
Yeah.
Or boys.
I think there's guys jealous of your beauty.
Oh.
They might be. I mean, yeah.
Or that.
You never know.
Had a lot too. So.
Hey, that's true though. We don't know. You got a pretty good looking boo. So there might be girls out there that
Exactly. They're trying to poison me for that.
I thought you were trying to say like women were trying to spike her drink to take advantage. At first I was like, whoa.
First, that's what I thought also.
That because I'm sure, you never know. There's probably all sorts of people wanting Heather.
If I wanted to, I would have already. I mean, taking advantage of her.
Oh,
just kidding.
I've known them for like
guys. It's a
10
joke.
years.
How do you
jokes.
We used to work together.
You guys, it's entertaining.
A long time ago.
But
wait, hold a second. From Halloween?
Oh yeah, duh. You met Nikki there.
Oh, you were the driver.
Yeah,
well,
I was the driver. Yeah, yeah, I'm the driver. Wait, you were the, because I recognize
Laureezy.
Is she at the bottom of her screen?
She might not be. Laureezy's at the bottom on my screen.
I recognize you, but I recognize your voice with the orange hat. What's her name?
Just say Peaches.
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 I recognize me.
Yeah.
I recognize you with the orange hat. I recognize your voice.
It was probably my obnoxious laugh. You're like, oh, I know who that is.
I like your laugh.
What were you wearing? What were you for Halloween? Oh, you were the Joker.
She was the Joker.
That's why.
She looked so.
That's
you look so cool. That is my favorite costume I've ever seen anyone wear. I practically like. Oh my God, you look so cool. Like,
thank you. I'll post it here to show it. But yeah. I remember, yeah. And
she's only ever seen you in Joker makeup.
Yeah.
Oh. And then
Batman.
you guys are so similar that I always like, I don't want to say something, and then it was probably the other sister.
No, that's all right. You don't have to.
Slightly older
but
one.
I know, because last time your other sister was, remember when we Zoomed, your other sister was there.
Was she?
And I was like, hey, how's it going, bro? And then
was
she was like, hello.
Peaches and
like,
I were talking once on Zoom. I don't even remember, but I believe that happened.
Yeah, because, yeah. So it wasn't you, and I thought it was you. And I was like, yeah, you don't remember me? But I totally forgot, too. I had the Joker going on.
It was your voice.
No, I recognize your voice. I loved your outfit. I've showed everyone that outfit. I was like, showed a picture of like, oh my God, like I got a picture with this lady and she's so cool. And she was wearing this Joker out. Like, I thought it was so cool. Like, it was.
We went to the Stranger Things thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Laureezy told me later on that made me feel super self-conscious? She's like, you took the Joker costume way too seriously. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And she's like the personality and everything. But we got kicked out of a place.
They didn't let you in.
Or
they didn't let you into Anodyne.
Why?
Oh, so that was another one.
Yeah, and I felt really bad.
That same night we went to a different place and Laureezy, I don't know, bro, what happened? Oh, we were walking in. No, we were still with you guys, huh? We were walking in. The guy took one look at me, and he's all like, "You're not coming in."
Basically.
Bro. But then we were wearing the costume on Day of the Dead, right, Laureezy?
Oh.
And I got kicked out at a Marvel today. Something happened.
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there. It was Laureezy and I. But I know with the costume, what Laureezy was trying to say, the costume brought the crazy out in me, you know? Like,
the costume was amazing.
I don't remember partially some of that, so.
You did look, I finally watched the movie actually, and I was like, this is terrifying. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but you looked amazing. Oh my God, I'm still all about it. Like, that was so cool. Like, when you walked up, I practically, like, was like, oh, wow. It's like, whoa. Like, that's all I could think was, whoa. Like, she is so cool. Like, you were so cool. I gotta go.
Thank you. I was, like, really looking forward to my costume because I had heard about the movie a long time ago. So when I watched the movie and I saw certain things that I didn't have, I'm like, fuck, I missed that. But like,
you're pretty close though.
Yeah,
you look amazing.
I have pillows that have my face painted on them, because I passed out.
Oh, good times.
Yes, that was good times for sure. I had a good time. No, that was super cool. I thought that was really sweet that your sister drove us around, and because we missed the first situation up.
I know.
So that was really cool.
That also interrupted our deep conversation about racism in New Mexico.
Right? We were getting so deep. I was about to question you guys on your whiteness and shit.
No, which is fine, because like I try so hard to explain it to white people from out of state, like my boyfriend, because I'm always like, when I listen to his family talking about things and like hear them all talking to each other, I'm like, it's like harder for me to fit in with them than it is
almost like you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, more so. Because this is like the culture I grew up in. And in New Mexico, the dominant culture is like the Hispanic traditions from here that have been here for so long. Mm-hmm. And like white people don't have traditions anyways. They always just like, or their traditions are like going to baseball games and like eating hot dogs or smaller family ones.
And I've heard that a lot actually when they're like, well, what's our culture?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the culture has been a sponge that has absorbed everything. So if you take that out, then what are you left? And literally, I've heard that burgers and hot dogs and
and especially in the U.S. because they've had to like reinvent their whiteness here because they've all come from like our families all came from random European countries.
It's like a hybrid American kind of.
But I'll tell you something too with your white privilege, you guys, that your sports and all that is like all your things that, well, other than the hot dog and burgers. You're going to watch black people perform.
Hey, don't include us in this.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, I was actually going to say when you were saying about your boyfriend was that people have said to me sometimes, because, you know, I tell Laureezy, and Oscar put it in a way, and I'm not going to be able to repeat it the way how eloquently he said it, but basically how life is chaos right now. And for those of us that have a chaotic inside, it feels pretty okay.
Normal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I totally feel that, but I've had people, like I tell Laureezy, like, and you know, how many nights I'm like just going on and on and on about certain things that now are so like in our faces. And I've always been about that. But I've had people that have told me, other friends, hey, like, you know, Laureezy or HOBA was there and you were like going on, and I'm like, oh, so I don't think of you guys. And so when you say I don't think of you guys as that, as obviously I would not be friends with you if I thought of you as that problem
And
that we're
other,
seeing.
yeah.
Yeah, or that, or a Karen or anything like that, right? But people have told me like you need to be more respectful when you, and I'm like, I don't think that they take it that way because I'm not talking about them. So if they were all like, oh, she's talking about us whites, I can only imagine you guys. I cannot imagine you guys being all like, she's talking about the whites. So I just feel that I'm super comfortable with you guys telling you things and, saying it how I feel, how I think. And it's because you guys are not like that, because you don't have that mentality. Because now that you say it, like you talking about how the way that you grew up, the way that you saw your culture, the way that you saw your surroundings, totally explains it to me now. Because that's why I don't feel like, hey, I'm about to talk about Karens, you guys don't feel offended. I would never say that to you.
Yeah. And we would never be offended. Like,
yeah, I don't associate being like a Karen because
you're not.
Totally. I don't identify with a Karen at all. I just it's an embarrassment really to know that there are people that I don't know, race is so like, I'm like English, Irish, Scottish, and a little bit American Indian, like maybe 0.5.
I'm 0.5% Japanese.
Laureezy has a potpourri of the whites with a little bit of native pepper.
And I'm the same thing with Japanese.
Oh, shit.
Weirdly.
Oh, well, I was going to say, and I went off because Laureezy was saying something. I didn't want to interrupt you, but when I first started, I guess, hitting girls, I should say. I feel like I learned English a lot because I wanted to ask someone out. But it was like the white girl, like people would tell me like, why are you into white girls? And I didn't think about it that way. I just was attracted to, I was attracted to this little redhead back in high school. And I didn't say, but then that put in like, oh, white girls. So I guess going back to our conversation about white girls are fun, they are. And I could say some stuff that I don't mean it in a bad way, but there's certain things that happen that I think when it comes to like, when they're like, oh, well, it's a black guy that likes white girls or a Hispanic that likes white girls. We all kind of do in a way because it's different in a sense. I don't mean like, oh, it's different, something different. I don't mean it that way. I mean very specifically that I won't say those specific things because I'm going to sound very sexist and awful. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
And like for us to like check my white privilege, like it definitely taken like my whole lifetime still up to this point and still going forward to like, I don't know, maybe because I was raised here and I don't want to sound super privileged in saying that, but like the Hispanic culture seems so comfortable to me and more of what I almost identify with than whatever white culture is. But like when I first started hanging out with like a ton of Black people, which I did my freshman year and like since then, at first, like my roommate was from Ethiopia in my freshman year of college. So we always had like the Black Student Union like in our dorm room. Which was really lucky for me and like opened my eyes to stuff I never thought about because there's like no Black people in New Mexico.
There wasn't any when I moved here, but
now there's
the
more.
Population's a little bit bigger, yeah.
But this was in like 2006.
Oh yeah.
So and like growing up here, there was like one Black person in all of my high school, like all of my grades of school. So I was like, oh, Black people are like the same.
One Black person in every high school.
Probably. But so like I was like, oh, Black people are totally the same. And then all of a sudden there was like a bunch of them in my dorm room. And for a minute I had to be like I did feel, I was like, whoa, like there's so many Black people in my dorm room. And then Elizabeth, my roommate, was like, can you drive us to Target? And I was like, yeah. And then there was like all these Black people in my car. And I was like, whoa, which is horrible to admit. But I want to, because it was like, it wasn't, since I'd never been around that, I definitely did have to be like, oh, this is like, I had to be like, these are normal people, like even. it wasn't immediate. I had to think about it. It wasn't immediately that just this was normal, only because of all the stereotypes and the institutional racism in the US teaches you that for so long. Whereas Hispanic culture I was always like immersed in growing up, but Black culture, I had to be like, oh. And then I was like, why am I even acting like this or thinking about this or questioning it? Because they're just human beings. But I did have to stop and be like,
interesting, bro.
Yeah, I did stop and think about it.
But it makes sense. You're right, because you grew up with one and then you didn't grow up with another one. And yeah, I didn't grow up around a lot of Black people either, or white people, or anybody actually, you know, other than Mexicans. But yeah, that's interesting. And then for me, I'll tell you guys something weird that you know, I'm always been a big supporter and defendant, is that a word, defendant, of Black people. And I love the culture, and I know some of them don't like to have that the culture, but it is an amazing culture. I love it. I love the music. I love a lot of things about it. And I had a dream recently, and I was here in my new place, and there was because you know, I hear the protests and everything. I'm really close to downtown. I hear a lot. Helicopters always there. The ghetto boys always on top of my place. So my dream was that there were people protesting outside, and then I was like, oh shit, because it was getting like intense. And then I looked out the window, and it was a bunch of really young people. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I was gonna do something, and somebody came in my house, and I was like, what the fuck? So I grabbed a knife, and the person grabbed my hand, like trying to stop me from whatever I was doing, and he was wearing a hat. So I pulled the hat off, and it's a Black dude, and he must have been like 17 maybe at the most. And in that moment I stopped, and I was like, literally, like, it sounds super weird, I might edit this, but even in that moment of my dream, I thought like, I can't react the way that I want to react because he's a young Black guy. So I stopped myself, and I'm like, get out of here. He's all like, why? I'm like, just get out of here. But in the moment, like right before I took off his hat, I was about to, you know, slam that knife in him in my dream. This is in my dream. So I wake up, and I was talking to a friend, and she's white. And I told her about it, and I was like, I feel weird about it, but she didn't understand. But what I was trying to say is that if it would have been anybody else, even a Mexican, I might have in my dream stabbed him. But because it was a young Black kid, I stopped myself, and I tried to talk to him. So at first I was really confused about my dream. I felt like, am I just like, oh, he's Black, they're Black, just, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay? Or what the fuck? And later I'm like, nah, I think it's just that that whole, you know, shooting because you think he has a gun and he has fucking Skittles in his hand. I think in that moment I was just like, oh fuck. But if it made me feel weird, it made me feel like maybe this is how white people feel, you know. I don't know, it was weird to me. It was such a fucking weird dream. I woke up feeling super weirded out. Like, if a man attacks me, I should defend myself regardless of what that fucker looks like.
No, but I would have had the same reaction, I bet, because it's like you have to be like, oh wait, am I overreacting because someone maybe made me think this before, or is it like actually in my best interest?
Yeah. And then when my family from Mexico, we started having more experiences here together as a family. And when I say that, I mean little things like some of them coming to pick me up in high school, shit like that. And them locking the doors in the car when a Black person is coming by. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized a lot of my family thought the same way. Like you were saying, like, oh, we've been, you know, taught that we got to be careful.
And I didn't even learn it from my family, because like all my family's always been like, well, my mom's not doesn't have a lot of friends in general. She's not the most outgoing person in the world. So like, but who she was friends with was like lesbians or Indian people, like people from India.
Oh, that's crazy.
I swear that's like her friends group were those people. And so I remember when I was like young, everyone being like her lesbian friends when I was like in like 1994 or something were like, so how do you feel about us being friends with your mom? I was like, I don't know, I'm like 12. Like, or I wasn't 12 in 1994, but like I was like, who cares? So I've always had like the slightly diverse upbringing, but still, and I was never like afraid of Black people like then, but I saw them as like an other. And like the people we took, so like my like second week of my freshman year of college, I took like Elsabet and like 3 very, very tall Black guys to Target. And I was like, this is weird. And I like had to go up to one of them and be like, so did you find what you needed? Should we go? Because I was like, everyone was like lost in the store. And we didn't have smartphones or like good cell phones because it was 2006, which is crazy. And I was like, I felt weird walking up to him to be like, are you ready to go? And I was like, why am I even thinking this? And then I just walked up and said, are you ready to go? But like, he was like a 7 foot tall dude. And I was like,
what did he say when you told him?
He was like, yeah, sure. He's like, I'm still looking for like an ironing board. I was like, oh, they're over there. Like, it was
that's crazy. But I mean, you kind of just probably had that, oh, can I approach this person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That, you know, I don't know if I was telling Laureezy or one of my homeboys that recently they've been putting up the race and prejudice and hate conversation a lot at work, which is weird to me because it's like, oh, let's get to business, you know, like I get it, but you're not solving anything right now in this little space for me. Not for me. Maybe this sounds awful, but maybe for you to feel comfortable and okay with yourself, meaning mostly white people, maybe that's what you need. This not helping me at all right now. Let's get to business. So shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, so I've been having like a lot of trainings and things and webinars and stuff, and I got put in one where the conversation was about race and about everything that's happening out here, right? And I'm just like, ugh, like just exactly what I just told you guys. And then they break us into groups, and it's just 2 people, and my other person is this African American lady from I don't even know where. And I'm like, oh fuck. All of a sudden, I thought I was just like, oh god. And then I'm like, oh fuck. Like, get it together, bro. Get it together. Like, there was no room for like whatever the fuck they're gonna ask me. I don't want to answer. I'm not gonna. You know, I felt like so, almost like, ugh, I don't care about that shit. You don't know nothing. And then all of a sudden, I get a Black lady, and I'm like, oh fuck. I don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was weird. It was like, what the fuck am I gonna tell her about this shit? And if I do say something, am I sounding like, what the fuck do you know, beige girl? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen shit and I've experienced a lot because both being gay, like I'm a trifecta. I'm a woman, I'm a lesbian, I'm a Mexican, you know? So I've seen a lot. And I told, you know, you guys are some of my closest friends, and that you know my stories and things that happen. Like sometimes even walking into a bathroom is an awful situation for me. So I've seen shit. But at that moment, I was just like, what am I going to tell this Black lady? You know, it's like, the fuck am I going to say so I don't sound stupid or privileged or like that my skin is more beige than black, you know? It's like, what the fuck? But I totally get what you're saying. Super deep, bro. Super deep.
Dang.
You started it.
Yourself, Peaches.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I remember one time when
I like that.
Let's switch the. I had another question.
On a lighter note.
I had another question for you. On another note, on a lighter note, do you guys have to go? Because I got 2 more things. And Laureezy, we're gonna have to redo the intro because we didn't record that shit. But
okay.
And it was so fucking perfect because we couldn't log in. When Laureezy finally logged in, my face was stuck in the camera. It was so fucking funny. We're gonna have to. My other question. I don't know if Laureezy has answered this, but HOBA, how would you feel about being in an open entanglement?
By entanglement, do you mean like relationship?
Yeah, I guess. Is that what she meant?
At this point, it's like not worth it.
Nah, you wouldn't be in an open relationship? Like, think of yourself like in, you're with your same boo thing and you're 15 years.
Yeah, no, and I've always kind of thought about that.
What's up with that?
So it's been in the back of your mind.
I mean, only in the sense that are we going to get bored? Like, like when it's true monogamy for years and years, like, will what saves the relationship be something different?
Yeah.
Like I've read a lot of random stories from people, like the New York Times, which I have a paid like paper delivery subscription to now on Sundays only.
Oh damn.
They actually bring like the whole newspaper to my house on Sundays.
Oh shit.
And for some reason they had a whole series they did about interviewing people in open relationships. And it was in the magazine, so it was like, I think it took me an hour to read each one of the interviews because it was so long. It was like a lot of content. I was like, oh my God, why am I reading this? But to like hear all the people's their perspectives for so many words worth was like, it made it make more sense and less sense at the same time. It gave like zero clarity because it's like so, I think, specifically personal. Like I think I could potentially be okay with it in the future, but I don't think my partner could be. So like I don't think he'd ever go for that, like ever, unless his personality changes a little bit somehow,
or he gets bored of you,
or that that's true. I didn't think about that because he's not gonna get bored of me.
I mean, I who would get bored of you? I don't know. I don't see it, but
exactly, no.
And I think I'm more like Laureezy in this sense. Maybe, correct me if I'm not, but I don't know how to share. And I don't, like that's not an option. I don't give a fuck.
That's how he feels, I think.
And I can edit this if you want, but reason why I thought it was you different to ask is because I've always referred to you as my girlfriend, like female friend, that's more dudeish in the way that you handle romantic situations. Because, and I'll tell this story, and if you want me, I'll edit it. But this is the first time that I hear a woman tell me, like a friend, be like, "Ow, what'd you do last night?" "Oh, well, I went to what's his name house. I've been talking to him a little bit, and then he started crying, so I left." She makes this dude cry. First of all, I'm already like, whoa, she's a G.
Waste of time.
A lot younger than me, so I'm just like listening to the story like, wait, what happened? You made a dude cry? And he was in his feelings. He was feeling a lot, and you weren't. So you're just like, I'm out. But I just don't see most women that I know, I don't see them acting the same way, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Funny thing, again, if you want me, I'll take this out. I'll take this whole thing out. But the funny thing is that when it happened and you were telling me, and I was like, what did you do? And you're like, what was I supposed to do? He started crying. Like, what do you do? I just walked away. Like, it was like, he's crying. It's like so dudeish. Because I have like one of my best homies that you both know. He's such a machista, and he's so like, when women cry, when women are on their period, when emotions. Or like recently I was telling Laureezy he doesn't want to be served by a female bartender because she might be on her period and the drink might taste different. Like, super sexist.
What?
So I'm just like, I hear that from him. She started crying.
Who even thinks of that?
That's funny. Like, I don't know what podcast we talked about it, but I was telling Laureezy that was such a weird thing to me. I never thought that he would think this way, but he's like, I was like, have you realized that over the years, like bartenders, there's less females and more males? And people
mentioned that in the Oscar podcast, but
oh, was it in the Oscar one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, then, and I was telling Laureezy that homeboy was just like, well, who knows? It might taste different because who knows what she's thinking. I'm like, what? So men don't think? Like, I don't understand.
No, but
I guess they don't. But I'll have to like be like, because sometimes I feel like I don't think I sound like a feminist. I'm not. It's not. I'm not proud of it. I'm just not, unfortunately. And more of a machista. But damn it, what was I gonna say? Oh,
you're gonna say something about.
I'm not against men, and I'm not against women per se. But I know women's faults, and I recently told someone like, "Oh, you're very logical for a woman." And I was like, oh, fuck, I should have left the last part out. No, because but I literally know like 3 logical women in my life.
And I'm not always as logical as I seem.
None of us, I'm not logical.
I say, which my
And
boyfriend loves to point out.
I'm puking words. But that's why I say, like, women are not very logical. So, but the fact that you think that your drink might taste weird because she might have some weird thoughts, feelings, emotions, or be on her period, that shit is weird.
Yeah.
That is the fact that your brain even goes there. Like,
that's fucked up.
Oh, I wish I could have recorded this fucking conversation, you guys, because it was very like, isn't that stupid? Don't you think that's stupid? Well, I'm like, well, what? I don't know. She might be like feeling some way in my drink. And I'm like, what?
So she could still be professional enough not to fuck up your drink.
Apparently not, and I guess AOC showed us we can't be professional because our emotions get in the way.
Oh my god. Patriarchy.
Oh, you guys. But anyway, no. Well, I guess what I was, I can never be in an open entanglement because, and I can tell you this, I don't think Will Smith necessarily is all into the open entanglement. I think that he has had hoes. And he has been one of the few guys that knows how to manage his hoes. I mean, let's think about this. If he's had Eva Longoria, Margot Robbie, the people that they're like the rumors, oh my God. Those are trophies right there. So of course the women, they themselves have so much worth. They know they have. I'm not saying other women don't have worth, but they don't know their worth. So they know their worth, that they either keep their mouth shut, or they're just like, I know what it is, or I'm smart enough to know that this is just like, I'm gonna get some Will Smith dick, but then I gotta move on because Jada. And Jada's Jada. You know?
I was saying, I'd be terrified of her, but
fucking Jada. Not only that, but like, she's fucking hot, she's fucking brilliant, she's fucking talented. Look at her fucking record. Fucking, you gonna fuck with a bitch that fuck with Tupac? But I think Laureezy thought an entanglement would be a good idea. I don't think for our type of woman situation emotion that we got going on that we can't serve her drink because our emotions are fucked up. I think that we can't allow to have an open entanglement because I'll kill a bitch. I'll kill a bitch. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I've explored the polyamorous situation, but I don't think that's for me. I think I'm a one person, like monogamy is, it's like my parents were married forever and that's just what I know. So just,
yeah, but you can't say that, Laureezy, because right here I'll interrupt you and be a devil's advocate or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever.
If I was gonna do what my parents did, then I should go from bitch to bitch. Unless I identify with my mom, which is, I guess, what's been happening. Every woman walks all over me. So it's like, should I follow the patterns that my parents followed?
Yeah, no.
I don't think that what your parents did is like what you did. I guess maybe your situation, your parents was a beautiful picture, and maybe that's why you feel like, I want that. Is that the case?
Well, I think because my mom was so strong and strong-willed, and my dad was like all chill. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we have strong women in our family. So I kind of take after that. But then there's this like female side of me that comes out, like that's in my feelings.
What do you mean by female side?
It's like a girly girl sometimes, even though I don't, I don't really, this is a deep conversation, so I'm gonna get out of it.
Well, you're not ready for that, Laureezy? I thought you were ready for whatever, whenever, because that was the way speaking of whenever, whatever, that's why my shit is hot. Did you guys watch the DMX Snoop versus?
No.
What? That shit was epic, bro.
Oh, I tried looking for it, and then I've been taking these classes, so I've been like deep in.
I'm taking classes. I'm working. I'm
whatever.
Family.
You're a mom. Your mom.
Huh?
What are you trying to say? Are you talking shit?
I'm just saying, HOBA is in a relationship and she's got to deal with homeboy, but time to watch versus, bro.
I was working. The only reason I was on my computer and like ready to join right when you wanted me to is because I was working on my computer earlier.
She was working on a Saturday.
Well, yeah, I gotta tell you guys, that shit was like, maybe you guys, all right, nah, nah.
What?
No, if I could say it, maybe you're too old, maybe you're too young, but that shit was perfect for me. Like, that shit was like everything I wanted to hear. Snoop and DMX going at it, like, oh fuck, like that shit was ill. But now that just reminded me because I was gonna say, I don't know, I said a DMX line, whatever. Anyway, I had something else. Hold on, you guys.
Bum, bum, bum.
Deep exhale.
Okay. First, I was going to ask a question. I'm not going to ask a question. I'm just going to start with it. So, when Kanye started with the situation, I have to say this first because I have some shit to talk, but at the same time, and especially because you guys are two of the people that probably know me better than a lot of people. So, I used to embrace Kanye's crazy because the way that he referred to his rants, quote unquote, was the way that I feel that I'm like, that's exactly what happens to me. I'm not crazy. I'm just doing this. So the visionary streams of consciousness, that's my way of saying like that, hey, my crazy is coming out, which now I also refer to it as Pchs, but that has become something else. But like when my visionary streams of consciousness come out, shit, man, like you really have to love me because the next day it happens all the time. I wake up thinking like, who do I have to apologize to? And the older I get, the more I'm just like, do I even want to apologize or do I let that person walk away from me? And the moment that person walks away from me, you know who I am. Pchs don't forget, Pchs don't forget. So the moment you know that it's out, then you're out. So and I say that because people are like, oh no, you've given a second chance. It doesn't mean that you're out. I've given a second chance, but the moment I rip the band-aid, I don't pick up trash. So that's how I am. But so the visionary streams of consciousness that Kanye has had lately, well, first I wanted to ask you guys how you felt about it, but second, do you think that's just the rollout for like something coming up? Because supposedly he had a music coming out that was going to be called Donda, like her mother, on Friday. That shit didn't come out. Running for president, supposedly, he didn't put in the signatures and the things that he had to. So
he's on the ballot in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but there's a and I had some things that I don't want to bore you guys reading, but there's a bunch of stuff that I found that he didn't do that, so he doesn't qualify, right?
Yeah, basically.
Then he says he wants to divorce Kim, and Kim puts out that, for her, pretty beautiful statement and heartfelt statement that she put out. He says that I mean, all these things that he said, it just sounds to me like he was literally fucking with us. And
so that's what I thought at first, until Kim's like, don't like judge my mentally ill husband.
But okay, and then I saw, so first I was like all with her because that whole statement she put out was really nice, really, really well put together. But then I saw that Kim Kardashian is not allowing the keeping up with the Kardashians cameras while this situation. I'm like, that doesn't, I mean, that
sounds normal.
That it's their, let's even take that whole fucking Kardashian situation out. Fucking Kanye. I just feel like, why is it that when he has something going on, he has a visionary stream of consciousness, which you guys refer to it as a rant or as a crazy thing, or he's in trouble. He had a visionary stream of consciousness the other day, several days on Twitter, and he was just fucking talking shit to get attention. Right? So
that's what it seems like.
And the funny thing is, like, even my mom, who doesn't know anything about, the culture, anything, like that, she's all like, she said, pobre, like poor guy. And I was like, nah. I said, why? Because he's mentally ill? Because I'm not saying he's not. And again, you guys know me well enough to know that I know something's wrong with me, and even though it's like a funny or whatever, I know I have issues, but it's like, I'd rather be poor rich Peaches than poor broke Peaches. Like for you guys to be like, oh, poor her. I would love for you guys to be like, oh, poor her and she's rich. Then poor her and she's broke. Like, who gives a fuck? Like he's fucking rich. Like, do you really feel bad for him? As much as
I don't feel bad for him.
And I relate to him and everything.
I definitely don't feel bad for him, but I feel like it's unfortunate that he has the mental health issues he has with having such a loud microphone.
Yeah.
You mean because
when he talked about Harriet Tubman and the things that he said about Harriet Tubman, like, I mean, that
they don't make no sense.
Yeah, that's what I have issue with, because Black people like are struggling now, and to say that Harriet Tubman, you know, didn't do the things she did, I mean, that's just that's an insult, I think.
Well, the big issue there is that, like, what do you say? Like, Harriet Tubman didn't free slaves; she just made him work for other white people.
Yeah,
that whole statement in itself, if you really listen to it, okay, so she got slaves and got them jobs to where you got money. That, are you mad at that? Like, even the statement is not, if you even look at it like because what he meant was to say that she frees slaves and then they're working for the man, meaning the white man, right? Quote unquote. Is that bad back then in that situation where you were a slave and now you're working for a white man that's paying you and you have hours and a salary? Is that really that bad? So if you tell me Harriet Tubman didn't free slaves, she just put them to work with white men, oh, cool. That's awesome. That's like someone saying to me right now, like, oh, that person didn't remove Peaches from that job. She put her somewhere where they paid her more. Cool. Right?
At all. That's like a hard comparison, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like someone's property, and then all of a sudden, they're working. They have hours. They are not living there. They just go work, and they get paid. So, okay, so no Black person owned anything, right? So who are you gonna work for?
Well, I mean, the first one's not working, but
so you're not gonna work and
slavery,
you're gonna die because you're not gonna you don't have land, so you can't grow your own shit. So you're literally just free.
Yeah, I know. That's why reparations should be a thing.
But we're talking like a fucking like how many years later? Yes, HOBA. But
still should be a thing.
But what I'm I agree. But what I'm saying, in that moment, you're not free. You're not a slave anymore. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna roam around and see what you find in the world? You're gonna find a job. Who has the jobs? Till this day, who has the jobs?
That's a good point, but
I'm not saying.
I don't
understand what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say is that even though he's
the
crazy,
romanticism of
not properly processed.
But is he trying to be deep and make us think that, or is he just saying shit? He's just saying shit.
Just said, you know, Black people didn't have anything, and then Harriet Tubman was trying to at least free them from slavery. So
exactly, bro.
Why couldn't you just said that?
But once you're free, no, yeah. No, what he could have, should have, would, like the whole kind of. Look, what I'm saying is, like, once you're free, what were you gonna do? You're gonna find a job.
Mm-hmm.
We're poor middle class people. We're gonna have to find a job.
I mean, I hadn't thought about it. I see some.
But if you find a job, who's gonna be your boss? It's back then, especially white people. So what he said, in a way, is not that. I mean, yes, it's crazy and it's not properly, but I think that's what he meant.
Is it? That's what I was saying. Like, is he trying to be make everyone think so deeply, or not, or have it be so blatantly obvious?
That's just what I think. What I think he was trying to say is that you're removed from slavery to be put in a place where you're still a slave. They're still like, it's almost like a football player, a basketball player. No matter how much money they make or anything, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that even though a sports person, a LeBron, I don't know, Mahomes. I don't know, Mahomes is halfway. Just kidding. But anyway, anybody like that to a racist person is still looked as a slave, quote unquote. So we can't change that. But what I'm saying is that for that black person that was a slave at one point and then all of a sudden is free, you still have to look for a job. And again, like those sports people, you have to work for someone. And most likely that someone is white. It's like someone recently, we were having not an argument, just a conversation about Telsa. I love the cars. I think they're beautiful. If I had the money, I would, right? It's an appealing thing. And then that motherfucker recently comes out with that statement that we shouldn't get a stimulus because that's not what the people want or need. And it's almost like talking about us like the little people. And when I say us, I always tell Laureezy, I don't want to sound like, I don't want people to be like, because we're privileged, we're working. We're not the people that are right now really struggling, right? But that motherfucker talking about the little people as like, we don't need a stimulus, when that motherfucker has made his company because of so many government stimulus, because of so many things.
And tax cuts.
Yes, everybody that has helped him. And this fucker is like, oh no, don't send them stimulus. Is that same situation where the Republicans are all about like, oh, it's just making them lazy, it's making them not find a job. Are you fucking kidding me, you fucking piece of shit? Like, I don't want to go outside to get fucking groceries because I don't want to die, puto. Not because I'm just like over here like, oh, give me stimulus, give me stimulus. And what is really like $1,000 going to do for us? Even us that we are surviving or whatever, right? Come on, bro. We're going to put it in the economy. When I got that fucking $1,000 check, bro, it was like my rent and a fucking Apple TV. So Steve Jobs got richer and, my landlord got paid. What the fuck? Like, oh, no. Oh, stimulus. Make it rain and shit. Like, what the fuck? They send it like, what? Even if I went and spend it on strippers, bro, they got to feed their families too.
And I put mine in my savings account, so I did like nothing to benefit the economy.
Ah, that's so white of you.
I know. I know, but I'm afraid because I'm technically my job has an end date. So.
Oh shit, you do. Okay, see? So that's small. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to, but so that means like you're planning. And again, and when I mention, we're like, I always hate to sound like we are privileged in some way, right? So I hate to sound like, oh, we're suffering and shit. But I mean to say what I think the people, like I represent people, right? And you're right. The fuck are we supposed? I thought about saving it, to be honest with you. And what happened is that my previous place didn't give me my deposit. So I was just like, fuck, I was counting on that money. To me, it was a lot. Those few $100s was a lot to me. So that stimulus was like, boom, takes care. Half of that shit takes care of it, right?
Yeah, I did buy
we
a mattress.
Have to use it and plan, and it's not like. And then let's be honest, what the fuck are you gonna do with $1,000, bro? Like, I know it means a lot to me, it really does, but it's not mortgage. To the point where there's like, oh, I'm gonna buy a business.
My student loan.
For how much, bro? Really? Are you really gonna pay it off?
No, but mortgage and student loans and debt.
Wow, I don't know.
But I get what you're saying. I still don't. I know what you're saying about Kanye, but him supporting Trump is just like
That's super dumb too.
I don't want it to seem like I'm supporting him.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I don't understand it, and maybe it's part of the.
And like even if he is just using his Trump support for publicity, like pick some different way.
Yeah.
I think, okay, I saw this on somewhere, I don't know, I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of like weird shit, but I heard that he is the type of person that when they tell him no, and you know how many people are out there, when they tell you no, you do it. I wish it was like that, honestly. See? Like I envy that trait of people. They tell you no and you do it. They tell him, no, you can't rap. You're a producer. He became one of the best rappers that we know. Like, he is great. No, you can't be in the clothing business. Look at how much money he's making.
Yeah, but his clothes are ugly.
You know? And now Gap. They tell him, no, you can't wear that hat and you can run. Yes, I can support him. Yes, I will do. See, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I literally just look at him as the crazy person that I relate to, because I'm telling you, years ago, whenever I heard him say that his rants were visionary streams of consciousness, I'm like, how eloquently to put those crazy thoughts, because I have them too.
mm-hmm.
And the next day when I wake up and I'm just like, oh, fuck. And then when I say, do I have to apologize to people? It's not because I want to. It's just because I want my friends to like me and or have people around me. But if I was rich, unfortunately, I might be like, fuck y'all. You didn't like what I had to say last night?
No, you wouldn't do that. But we also, as your friends, don't like need the apologies.
If I said something, HOBA, that you guys don't agree with, and the next day you're like, you should apologize, like,
I don't know if you've ever said that though. Like, I've never been like, oh, I need an apology.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't think I've ever thought that.
Well, I had a friend that told me that, and it actually happened that I was wearing the Joker fucking thing that happened, right, Laureezy, that night. And that night I woke up and she wouldn't reply to my text. I didn't know it was because she was hungover, but I'm just like, why isn't she replying? And then I had another person is like, oh, you owe my lady an apology. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And you know how I am. I'm a flirt. I'm very aggressive. So I'm just like, oh, fuck, I might have done something really. So I wrote this huge fucking text. I wish I would have saved that shit, because now when I think about that, I regret sending it. But I sent his lady a text apologizing. And from what I heard, and from the little bit, because Laureezy, when she texts, is awful, so you can't really like capture what she's trying to say. So
Put me on blast,
the little bit that I got from Laureezy and what I got from him was just like, damn, I really disrespected this woman. And I've disrespected women before while being, Pchs. So this is my way of saying, like, I know what I can do and who I am and my craziness and how I try really hard to control it. But sometimes, again, if I was rich, I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't ask for forgiveness. I wouldn't ask for anything. If you want to be here, you can be here. If you don't, I don't need you. That would be my attitude. So I could totally understand Kanye. Like, he could just be like, this, and that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Like, he called that dude Kanye. The Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, him calling Chris's boyfriend Kanye. Like, that makes me think that he's not gone.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not like, he's not delusional or something. He just
has situations that some of us have in our heads, and he is able to put it out there because who's gonna do anything to him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I couldn't imagine being a part of the Kardashian
also that
man. So yeah, so they are like celebrity whores. Is that?
It's a big part of it, bro, because if I could tell you, if like I married someone that had that much spotlight, which I think I crave. I think I'm like, oh, this is what some of my close people tell me, you just want attention. And I'm like, do I? Because I thought I was just trying to get my point across. But when I get my point across alone, it doesn't mean the same as when I get my point across to other people, right? So I'm like, maybe that does mean attention, right? So I think like maybe that's what it is. So I can't tell you if I marry someone that had that attention and that platform, that I wouldn't act out sometimes just to
that's true. That's true.
So I know, again, I think I relate a lot to Kanye. As much shit as I talk and everything, I can see him waking up and being like, oh, fuck. But I don't really got to do anything. I'm fucking rich. If you like it, and if you don't, divorce me, bitch. Like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. And don't vote for me. Don't buy my music. We're still going to do it. Let's be honest. Kanye music comes out, we're going to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. I just see the Black Lives Matter and that is, I don't know. I don't know how to relate that, but
do you remember when he's like, George Bush doesn't care about black people?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. He just wanted to say whatever he thought in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah. I just wish.
I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had the best video of all time. all time.
Yeah, it's just the Trump thing is the most annoying. But like I would be.
People tell me when you go Pchs is when you drink. No, when I drink, it's more prevalent. But that bitch lives in me. That's me. It's just that I have to watch myself. I tell Laureezy, we could take this podcast to the next level if I wasn't afraid of losing my job. But
let's not do that.
I need my job. And it's not in a way that you get like, oh, I'm going to be offensive or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
It's just that I'm going to be real, 100% real. And it's like, that's what people want. That's what people like. Real.
She's not ready.
They not ready. They not ready.
Yeah. She be meaning the public.
I mean, I tell it like it is, and I would say it like it is. And if I like you do some shit, like I talk shit about my loved ones all the time, you know?
But not in an exaggerated way that's untrue.
Not like he was, I'm about to divorce this bitch because she slept with McMill. Not that type of shit. But I'd be like, I mean, I don't know the last shit I've talked about you guys, but I'm sure I've said something.
I'm kidding. What?
You said some shit. That's okay.
I'll be all like,
that was interesting.
You know my white friends? You know, they're cool. I just kidding.
Just to clarify.
I don't know. If you guys don't have time, I'm losing you, but if I am, we gotta get a couple of things across because we weren't recording.
Wait, I'll be right back.
Go to the bathroom.
Promise. Exactly. I'll be right back.
Take a break.
I've been drinking beer, so.
Yeah. Go to the bathroom. Come back. Hey, person, woman, man, camera, TV. Go.
Word.
Bro.
You're a bitch. I'm just kidding.
I Laureezy.
What? I don't care. Bitch, please my ass.
What you say to me, bish?
Bitch.
Broski. No, I know I am. The thing is that I'm very much aware. Huh?
Water. It doesn't.
Now you're drinking water. That's how I know I've defeated. Like now you guys need to hydrate and like take a piss break and hydrate and
whatever.
Can't handle the peach. It's fine. It's fine. That's my whole point.
My body.
It proves my whole point with Kanye. Imagine if I had money, bro.
Would you still be my friend?
Of course. Would you still be my friend?
Maybe not. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You know, my homeboy that we talk about like if we were rich, because people talk about Justin Bieber and all these people of like, oh, they're out of control. Oh, they're doing this and that. If you had money at a young age, I probably wouldn't. If I had money at a young age, I wouldn't be alive. But if I had money at this age, I don't know, bro. It would be very not necessarily. Don't get me wrong. I don't want no yes man around me, but I would say exactly what I want to say, and I wouldn't worry. Like, why do you think we haven't, literally, I've told you, why do you think we haven't taken this podcast to the next level? It's because we have commitments and things, you know?
We have to pay our mortgage.
Got to pay our mortgage. We got people that get all offended and shit.
Right.
Let me do this thing real quick while HOBA is taking a piss. We got our little wristbands.
Yes.
We got a couple, just a few face masks, which Laureezy told me now they're like disposable, but okay. And some stickers. But the face masks are the ones that are just a few. So we're going to put this survey, not right now, so don't look for it right now, but we're going to put this survey on the next podcast. And I want people to fill it out. And if you fill it out and we get more information, then, you know, maybe you can get some goodies. Because if there's literally just 50 of you roaming around, I want to get you guys, you know, something.
PPE? No, I'm just kidding.
Huh?
PPE?
PPE? Well, I mean, we got a mask, bro.
Merch.
You got the mask?
We call it what?
You got the mask?
Yeah.
That's PPE.
Well,
if I didn't get sanitizer, like Oscar said, it's because it's fucking expensive, bro. I don't have the money to give you guys sanitizer. I got enough. That's to.
You could give them a wristband and
get some from Safe House and put it in little bottles.
Oh, sponsor us, Safe House.
Or that. That's a way better idea.
We've been asking for Safe House. Look at this right here. I got Teller right here on the screen. I've had Teller.
Oh yes.
I don't know how many times I've had Teller on the fucking.
La Cumbre. Brought to you by La Cumbre.
Teller. I mean, at this point, Eagle, like, like anybody, like Peloton. Laureezy is willing to work out if we get a Peloton, bro. We don't even gotta get the bike. Just give us a little bit of like fucking. We recently. Oh, speaking of, see, I don't know how this works, but we just got followed by. I love the fact that local establishments are following us because I feel that's what it's all about. So we got, hold on.
If you know anyone that would want to sponsor us, hook us up.
Ask
Damn it,
Oscar.
Laureezy, I sent it to you. It was like, Filling Philly, downtown Albuquerque. Oh, you know who that is?
I think they're a chain, but it's that one that's on the corner of like 2nd and Central.
Well, Filling Philly from Albuquerque, 301 Central Avenue followed us. And I'm just like, thank you guys. Sponsor us. I mean, if you literally gave us a Philly steak one every month, I think Laureezy and I, at this point, we'd be cool with that.
Eat it, just like review it on air.
Yeah, we review it.
Shit. Say all kinds of shit, but now I gotta piss, bro. But I want to say something else.
How long have we been talking? Like 3 hours or something?
Laureezy can't hang and shit. This is the problem.
What?
We didn't record the beginning.
HOBA may want to be with her boo or something.
No, I'm fine. I do just have to feed him at some point.
He can feed himself.
Or he could feed himself.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna listen to you.
No, I kind of agree.
But if you guys,
out.
I mean, you can defend yourself in your Karenism. I gotta piss.
Oh.
She thinks we're offended.
Do we have, I'm not offended.
I'm not offended either.
But you're right. If someone, like, if a Black person would have, like, not know me and called me a Karen, then that would have been, hurt because they don't know me. But
I'm not going to be like, hey, you're so wrong, blah, 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 because it's like.
Usually, like, by my family, I'm called, like, a liberal, what is it? Bleeding heart liberal? Do you get that?
Well, I mean, like, my whole family's kind of the same, so.
Oh.
I'm not the weird one. And my sister's boyfriend is Black, and they've been dating for like 10 years. It's even weird that they're not married. Like my sister that's 1 year younger than me. So like he's been part of the family for 10 years, 7 years.
Well, I think they're not super racist, but they are more Republican than I would like. And I think it's because they don't want Democrats to take their guns. They're convinced that
we're going to take all the guns.
If you're not a Republican and you're a Democrat, because all Democrats are this or whatever, that they're going to have their guns taken away. That's the biggest thing with my family, because
only there's semi-automatic rifles. Yeah,
they grew up in the country and they're like attached to their guns. So they've listened to all this rhetoric of, if you're not Republican, then you're going to take my guns away. So just vote for Trump. So, I mean, that's what I hear. So.
Yeah, like my whole family's super liberal. Like, I don't think anyone in my immediate family or slightly extended family or anyone in my family is a Republican. I think that's true. But also, I don't have a very big family, so.
Well, I have 6, siblings, and they all have family, and I think it's mostly the men. The women are pretty, like, not super liberal, but they're like not super conservative either. So
yeah,
like,
and we do we do a lot of targeting in our political work of women married to Republican men to vote for Democrats because they secretly do most of the time.
Yeah,
so they can't admit it to their husbands.
Yeah, I see that, especially like just in this culture, where guns are like, because they use them for hunting, and
but no one needs semi-automatic rifles.
Right.
No one needs those because you can't hunt with them. They like explode the deer. Like
exactly. But they use the Second Amendment to say we have a right to have our semi-automatic guns for no
which it
reason.
doesn't even say.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, well, that's the argument I hear from the male people that are married to my family members. So,
all right, I'm gonna interrupt you guys.
Yeah, we're done.
Are being boring.
What?
Talking about terrible white people.
And I'm just literally gonna go through the stuff that didn't get recorded, and if you guys have a reaction, I appreciate it, and if not, pues then we move on. Yeah, fucking racism sucks, you guys. Let's move on. Sports is back. MLB and NBA. We don't know how it's gonna go. Laureezy brought up the fact that the WNBA had, some stuff that they were gonna support on their sneakers and shit. Told her Fauci's first pitch was socially distanced.
I saw that. I did see the pitch, but I saw that everyone said it was terrible.
It was horrible, but it wasn't as bad as 50 Cent. Tyson is fighting someone on September 12th, Roy Jones Jr. The Washington Redskins, which is my team.
I was going to ask you.
The Washington football team, which is what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Stephen Colbert had a joke that the numbers on the back are just going to be like jersey number.
And I was telling Laureezy, might as well do the Great Value football team, some generic shit. So that shit is awful. The Walter Mercado documentary on Netflix was fucking awesome. I recommend it. As super Mexican, it made me feel nostalgic, but I think that it's also appealing to other people that don't know nothing about him. The Aquaman 2 movie is coming out, and we're wondering, is Mara going to be replaced? Because if not, I'm not going to watch that shit with that dumbass bitch. I have issues with her. From before she would even had issues of the fact that Johnny Depp, like all the whole situation. Before that, the fact that she was a lesbian, and then now she's in love with John. It's like you guys know me, right? And then all of a sudden, Johnny Depp is like, "Hey, marry me." I'm like, "Yeah." The fuck would you guys think of me? For real.
What I thought of, who was the girl you dated?
Who?
The one that's married to a dude now.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but we all knew that whole situation from the beginning.
Yeah, but still, I was like, this bitch. But
exactly, bro. I was actually gonna bring something else up today that was super embarrassing, but since we were running out of time and I didn't record, I don't have to. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Anyway, what was the other thing? Music. Yeah, we said Nicki, congrats to Nicki. She's pregnant. J. Cole came out with some trash. Drake came out.
It's not trash.
All right, let me
It's not trash.
Oh, but he's hot. He's hot though.
Oh. Earlier today, because we've been trying to with the whole do we talk about topics first, or do I just lay him out all out on her, and then she doesn't even know what the fuck I'm talking about? We were battling with that whole situation. So I said, just to let you know, when HOBA comes in, I'm asking her a few questions. I don't want to tell you everything, but one is J. Cole, and then we started talking about it, and then Laureezy goes, "Well, J. Cole's hot though."
I kind of wish he took care. I wish his dreads were a little like more organized.
And that's what I said. What did I say to you, Laureezy?
You said
he looks like a homeless right about.
He looks like homeless.
But that's what he's going for. Literally, that's what he's going for.
It like almost makes me feel like the whole like, oh, that's what I'm going for, like to look homeless. Like that only shows me that you're like.
Other rappers are like J. Cole.
He's trying to prove the point that you can be like super successful and rich and good at this and look like you don't care, or like look like someone you might see on the street.
So why did he look better when he was poor?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't make sense. I don't think it's a great point.
That's attractive wise, because I don't care what kind of sneakers you have. I don't care what kind of shirt, jacket you have, the brand. I don't care about that. But he looked, I mean, the time when you like rubbed his back at the club, he probably looked really good, right?
Yeah. I mean,
did he have dreads?
Story.
No, he had no dreads.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Was
it the rest of that night's funny, but
tell us.
No. Not on a recorded podcast.
What'd you say?
I said not on a recorded podcast.
Was his hair nappy at least?
No, it was like clean cut.
Oh, okay.
Like he used to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So to me now, I can't help look at it like poserish.
Yeah.
Like to me, J. Cole and Drake are both people that would go to Marble.
That's true.
It's cool.
Especially J. Cole's half white. Like his mom is white.
Oh, I always forget about
that.
And
and so is Drake. So they're both right? Yeah, both their moms are white. And he was raised more by his mom.
So you're saying because they're halfsies, they act weird?
No, I was saying that they're the ones that are the hipsters you'd find at Marble, but in Albuquerque, like if they were Albuquerque crowds, they would definitely be at Marble.
You're 100% right, 100%. But
I'm looking for that picture.
Yeah,
that I have
for it and send it to me, and I'll post it right now in this moment. But other things. Monica Lewinsky had a documentary that I watched that I really liked.
I bought Mary Trump's book.
Huh?
I bought Mary Trump's book.
You did? What'd you think about it? Like, oh, that's when you were like caressing him?
That's when I sat down next to him and was like, oh my God, I love your music.
He looked like he looked, good back then.
Yeah, and then I ate this sandwich.
Instead of eating him or what?
Oh!
No, sadly, yes. No, then my secret story wasn't going to stay on air. Oh, no, just kidding. I don't know if my partner will listen to this.
Oh, he doesn't even know
about
this
him like my boyfriend,
night?
my partner, huh?
He doesn't even know about this night?
No, he knows about that, but I don't know if he knows about Bass. But oh my God, do you know what photo is right next to that?
What is it?
Put it down a little bit more like like that. What is that, bro?
It's you holding a water can in front of your face.
What?
There.
I thought it was a ball sack.
What the fuck? Send me that shit, bro.
It was when we were like going back and forth on Snapchat in 2013.
To tell you the truth, Laureezy, the situation between HOBA and I, the fact that she's so much younger than me, when we started
I'm not that much younger than you.
I'm immature as fuck. You're younger than me.
But not like that much. Like 5 years.
All right, maybe. I thought it was more. But it's the fact that it's kind of like the whole TikTok thing, bro. Like if I was just like, oh, don't do that. And she's like, no, this is a cool thing. And I'm like, all right. And she would we had like these pictures. I mean, shark.
The land shark?
Oh, yeah,
land shark.
I still have those somewhere on my phone.
Land shark, we went ham with that shit, bro. So there's some pictures out there. And it's funny because one of my homeboys told me, so it was going to be your birthday, and I thought it would be so funny if I reached out to your friends and got some funny pictures. Yeah. So I reached out to HOBA, and I'm like, first of all, I was just like, how dare you? Like, that's literally like, when I say my friends, you know, I have literally like, you guys are, it's probably, it takes less than a handful for me to say who my close really friends are, right? So the fact that he's like, I reached out to HOBA, and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? That is telling me I reached into your thoughts and your memories, and I'm like, nah, I don't want that shit out, bro. That's private. That happened between her and I. And when later, so I guess he wasn't able to do the situation that he wanted to do, but later on he showed me the pictures that HOBA shared, and I'm just like, we had a lot of fucking fun, but a lot of things that were like land shark and that whole teapot thing, I forgot about that. I remember one time, it was the first time that I caught that I rode the bus in Albuquerque, because when I moved here, first of all, I'm from when I say family, I mean a mom that's super overprotective. So I never rode the bus. And I rode the bus with HOBA for the first time in Albuquerque, and that
really,
like, yeah, I was just like, holy fuck, this is scary.
Did we go like downtown?
Yes, we were downtown, and we were downtown at Manon's house.
Yeah, and then we went further downtown,
somewhere more like deeper.
That's like
downtown.
Literally the only time I've ever ridden the bus. Also, is from like Central and I-25 to like Central and First.
Still, bitch, I had never like fucking ridden a bus. I ran a bus in Juarez, which was scary.
Oh, that was like the 5th time I've ever ridden a bus in Albuquerque. I had every other place, but like it would go. It was the rapid ride, so it would go straight from Central downtown, and I was always like, we're not going that far.
The thing is that we don't have a lot of transportation things. Mm-hmm. Like when fucking like, let's not talk about what's it called? Like we even forgot about that.
The art.
That was our biggest fucking nightmare before COVID. So the art situation was awful, but now I rode the bus for the first time with HOBA. We went somewhere, like, so all these things that I think about, I'm like, if there's pictures of that shit, and like you just showing one that I'm just like, I don't even fucking remember what happened, bro. But anyway,
there's Uber and Lyft.
Now there's Uber and Lyft, and now we have stories. Like now Laureezy and I have some stories. Remember, like one time Laureezy and I were in an Uber, and apparently I was the one that was supposed to come up with the address, and I was drunky as fuck, not cove, right, back then, just regular drunky. And she's all like, tell him the address. Let me just me right here on the right. And we finally got there, and I know for Laureezy is like, oh, it was so long and whatever. One of my exes was the one that was paying for that trip, and she is the one that later on, when I brought it up, can you believe that Laureezy holds this against me? Well, it was only $150. Oh fuck, I was like, how long? Now I get what Laureezy was at. $150 worth of Uber in Albuquerque, bro?
Well, I mean, I've spent $50 going from downtown to Midtown.
150 means they brought you back and forth a couple times.
Yeah.
We were in that car for like an hour and a half.
Well, if you want to pay her back, you know, I can send you her Venmo.
No, I don't want to.
Back, so we did music.
Oh, I found it. Wait.
Nicki, J. Cole, Drake, Logic, Meg. We're not apologizing to Meg. You guys are either too young or too old for Snoop and DMX. Dave Grohl put out a really cool. That was Pride.
Mm-hmm. That was that Pride Day.
Huh?
That was that same Pride Day.
Yeah, it was Pride, bro. It might have been one of the fucking situations when we had the club situation when I had to shove
that was the beginning of that day.
So I had to shove those miniatures up my ass because we
started drinking vodka at 9 a.m.
No, we started at 8, bro.
Or 8.
Yeah.
Way too early.
We met at one of your boy toys' house. We started partying there because that was the closest, you know.
This Gatorade is like mostly vodka. And it was full when we had been walking the other way down Central.
Young Peaches and HOBA
and Melissa. I mean, this one.
You already said it.
That's fine.
Melissa. Oh, Melissa knows how to party, bro. Like she's a good drinking buddy. But let me go down. AOC, we feel disgusted by the fact that man felt disgusted about her comments. You called her a effing bitch. I think she's in her right to do her little TikTok video and feel good about herself and whatever. Walmart closing on Thanksgiving. The Chinese consulate was in Houston was burning documents. So who knows what's happening there? I'm telling you, she should take care of TikTok, but she doesn't listen to me. Find something new campaign from Ivanka because she's the one person that has always having to find something new because she's so
bored.
Poor and unprivileged, the poor little Barbie bitch. The judge, her son got killed because of the whole Elaine, what's her face, Epstein situation. That shit is fucking ratchet.
Did they say it was because of Epstein?
Oh, dude, she got the case, and all of a sudden, a FedEx worker shoots her son.
No, it was a defense attorney who's like is part of a men's rights group.
I heard that she just got the Epstein case.
I think she had it before even, but I don't think that might have triggered him finally. But he made threats against her and has killed maybe someone else in California or something.
The FedEx dude?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Like he's an actual lawyer.
Right.
He's a defense attorney who's part of a men's rights organization.
I don't know, but if you are that type of man, I can see how you would be trying to support the situation that Epstein had going on, meaning like fuck whoever you want, because I truly believe that Bill Clinton was in the situation with a lot of ladies, but I don't think Bill Clinton's I don't think that Bill Clinton was all about like give me all the fucking under 17 bitches. I think he just wanted pussy regardless. Like Monica Lewinsky, let's be honest, like I don't even know how all of a sudden he's all like why? Like she's okay, I guess, but like to jeopardize your whole career for that bitch, I don't think she's that good. However, okay, whatever. She's, I'm not trying to talk shit. She's a woman and she has her rights. She has her rights and she's a woman. What else? Trader Joe's, Ming, Luigi. Teach Me from the Grave, the whole situation where they expect teachers to just put up with shit. Teachers are like getting their wills together, getting like, actually fucking, we're literally about to die. So it's what the fuck is the word? When they the essential personnel seems to be, to me, the ones that get paid the lowest and the ones that have like what the fuck are you gonna do, bitch? Gotta go to work tomorrow, so shut the fuck up, right? So that shit sucks. Rest in peace, Regis. Rest in peace, Regis.
He was 88, right?
He was 88. He had a good life. We can't be mad. Rest in peace. Rest in glory. He had a good life, bro. Good. What else? That's it? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Go.
So dumb.
Just kidding, you guys. Thank you for the conversation, HOBA. Thank you because Laureezy sometimes doesn't really like tell me how she feels. So she really doesn't tell me a perspective of who she has to bring to the table, which is that white woman. That sometimes I talk a lot of shit about, but I don't mean it in a, I just told you guys, I love white women. I've had my first
We're not
crush.
offended.
My first crush was a white woman. My latest crush is a white woman. So I don't know what to tell you guys. It's like from like fucking being 17 to being 37, and I'm still on you guys. So I guess my people might hate us and hate me.
Just don't love a Karen. That's what we're saying.
I don't love a Karen. I would never love a Karen because a Karen, I'm a trifecta, bro. A Karen will find so many things wrong about me before she can even come near me. But Karen's is what I have to deal with when I go to the bathroom. All I'm trying to do is piss or shit. Usually piss because I can't shit in public. So usually I'm just trying to piss and I encounter a Karen at the bathroom, at the public bathroom, where she's just like, she looks at me with these eyes of like, what are you doing here? And I'm just like, literally, I want to say, what are you doing here? Because you already washed your hands, so you should get the fuck out of here and let me shit. But they look at me like, what are you doing here? All right, you guys. HOBA, thank you for joining us. I know you got a boo thing waiting for you, probably being like, what you guys talking about in here?
No, he's like literally outside in this, he's like he has discovered woodworking and construction and being able to build things from pieces of wood.
That's my thing. Oh, okay.
And my little sister, I think, has invited more people over than I thought she was going to, so I have to go make food.
Oh, you gotta make food for your man?
I made beans.
And myself.
Oh, he's totally playing the white card on you.
That's true.
He thinks because he's white, his woman needs to make food?
Well, is that just a white thing?
He needs to start.
He's not great, but he's not terrible.
All right. Have him make some shit right now.
Pierogies. The whitest thing ever. Polish food.
I don't know how much we missed. I'll try to edit this and see and put it together. But thank you.
We could do this forever.
I feel like we should totally have both Oscar and you.
That'd be funny.
And we should talk about the whole snowballing situation. I have questions, you guys. I have questions.
I don't want to know the answers.
I want to know so much. I'm just so surprised of how he's so open.
Yeah, Oscar's always down to talk about whatever.
He's like a white boy. Like white boys seem more like open to things. Like Mexicans are just like, nah. They don't even think, like some Mexicans don't even like anal Mexican men because it's too much. And it's like, this is what it is. You give me head, I fuck you. You give me head.
Or that's what they say. I was yawning. Or that's just what they say.
Nah, it's what it is. I'm telling you. Like Mexican men usually don't eat pussy. As Laureezy's holding her pussy.
It's gray.
Good timing.
Oh yeah.
But they like missionary, and of course their dick sucked. But that's it. But for a white boy to not, that's just like, in a way, I'll be honest, and let me stop recording. In a way, yeah,